Hi, I'm HD Chambers, Superintendent of Schools for Alief ISD. Thank you for taking the time to listen to a few pieces of information that I have to share with our parents, our staff, our students, and in our overall community here in Alief. I really do appreciate it. I know the board appreciates those of you that attempt to keep up with what's happening, perhaps have a better understanding of what we're doing, and perhaps more importantly, why we're doing it. But I do want to express my heartfelt appreciation to those of you that take the time to listen and to potentially make decisions based on what you hear. I want to real quickly just continually lift up our teachers and principals and counselors and administrators and custodians and our maintenance workers, our bus drivers, our food nutrition workers, our crossing guards, our police officers, all of the individuals who work very closely with campuses where children are attending school, teachers are teaching school, both in person and remotely. I just want to continually express the appreciation that I have, the board has, and that the community has for what our professionals are doing in our schools every single day. They're doing it in very stressful situations. They're doing it in times that none of us have ever experienced. And in many cases, they're doing it with such grace, and they're doing it with such professionalism, and they're doing it with such just with a desire to help educate children, even in situations like we're in. So if you have an opportunity, or I would encourage you to take the opportunity to thank one of those selfless employees who's doing everything they can do to make sure that we have safe and healthy environments to teach school. We have employees that are teaching school, and we have all of these aforementioned employees that are providing the support so that teaching can take place. So I know thank yous are sometimes hollow, and sometimes they don't help with the way some people are feeling or the way opinions people have. But right now, I just want to let everyone know how grateful that everyone is for their work. Particularly those of you who are working on a campus every single day. To students, I just want to continually remind you that it is more than critical. It is imperative that you continue to show up to school, whether that's remotely or in person, and that you continue to work to demonstrate to your teachers that you've mastered the content, you've mastered the subject. Excuse me, and that you are making a honest, good attempt to understand what it is you're being taught. I am worried, as a lot of educators are. I'm worried about our failure rates because some students are not taking care of their business, particularly those of you that are remote, doing it at home. Now, I know a lot of you are, and what I'm telling you is to continue with that. What I'm telling those of you that aren't is that there will be consequences, and you will continue to fail. We're not going to give you a passing grade just because it's COVID. Just because we've got a virus, we're gonna measure your educational attainment in each course, and teachers are going to grade you accordingly. And I've been saying that I said it back during the summer, and I've been saying it all fall. So I just want to continually remind you as a student what your responsibility is, and that there are consequences for making the wrong decision as it relates to your academic growth and your academic progress, regardless of what grade you're in, regardless of what class you're taking. So I just want to remind you of that. But I also want to pat you on the back because we have many students who are doing great work, both in the classroom and at home, and in some cases a combination of two. And I don't want to come across to the parents or to the community or even to our staff that students aren't taking this serious and taking care of their educational work while we're going through this. But there's a lot more of you taking care of your business than there are that aren't. But there's more that are not taking care of their business than there needs to be. So students, yeah, I'm continuing to warn you, show up, take care of your class work, demonstrate to your teacher that you're engaged, demonstrate to your teacher that you're working on whatever it is that they're teaching, and that you have mastered it, that you've mastered it or you understand it. Please continue doing that. Community, I just want to let the community know that we appreciate the support. It's one of the great things about Alief is how much the community loves our school system. We've got business partners, we have parents, we have just volunteers. In addition to our school board, we have people that are volunteering to help in any way they can. So I just want the community to be aware of our appreciation for those that are going out of their way to help us. I also want to just give you a heads up as a community that during the November board meeting, our school board approved for me to begin the process of our next bond election. I will be providing much more detail and a lot more information to the community on for those of you that don't know what a bond election is, what a bond election process is, how we've done it in the past in our district, what it's for, and all the intricacies that go into putting together a referendum to put in front of the voters for our school district. So this is just a little teaser. It's just to let you know that this is coming. I will be speaking much more in detail to it in January and moving forward. Many of you that perhaps may watch this video may be receiving information, letters, emails, etc., asking if you're interested in participating. The reason you're getting those emails is because most likely you're a pretty consistent volunteer in our district, or you served on the last bond steering committee. But anyway, I just want to make the community aware that there's going to be a lot more information coming on the next steps for an upcoming bond election, either in 2021 or in early 2022. I'll finish by just talking about the obvious, and that is COVID and the things that are going on in our community, in our district, across the state. I don't have to tell you the surge. I don't have to about the surge in cases. I don't have to tell you about the increasing number of individuals that are tragically dying from COVID at a national level and at a state level. I don't have to, all you have to do is turn the news on and be reminded of those concerning data points. Just letting everyone, but I did want to talk about and let everyone know that we are continuing to expand our rapid COVID testing that's being done through our school district. If you're a campus staff member and you're not aware of that, please check with your principal or your nurse. They are aware of it. They're aware of the locations. We have some pilot school locations doing it. We also have Crump Stadium for anyone that wants to drive in. They're free. They're rapid. They typically take about 15 minutes to give you a result, and they're not nearly as intrusive as other COVID tests are. So we're continuing to expand that. We're testing campuses. Matter of fact, today, as I sit here making this recording, we have some nurses at a particular campus that were concerned, and they're testing students and staff that are a part of that, so that we can give them peace of mind, or we can act accordingly based on the best data we have regarding positive cases. So the rapid testing test kits are here and working, and we're utilizing them as much as we possibly can to help us make good decisions. I know everyone in the media is talking nonstop about the vaccine, about when it may be available, where it may be available, who's going to be first to get it. What happens if you don't want to get it? You choose not to take the vaccine. So what I will say about that is that Alief ISD nor any other school district is involved in any of the mechanics of the vaccine rollout. I will tell you that I'm a part of some pretty interesting and educational and informative meetings a couple times a week with the Texas Medical Center staff and with our county health officials. And earlier today, I was on a Zoom meeting with our Texas Medical Center staff, and they were outlining, along with the city of Houston and Harris County health authorities, they were outlining the way they're going to disseminate the vaccines, what groups are going to be getting it first, or at least have the option to take the vaccine first. And so it's many of the things you've seen on the news and you've read about in terms of who's going to go first. As many of you know, teachers have been suggested as being a part of the first tier. School nurses obviously will probably be considered that and will be very, very early in the vaccine distribution process because of just the nature of their job. And so, but just know two really important things. One, we are not a part of the rollout of the vaccine. If local officials ask us to do something that can be helpful to the distribution of the vaccine, then we will obviously play a part in that. But right now, schools and school districts are not, we're not being asked to do that. What we're being asked to do, and I'll be really clear about this, what we are being asked to do is to remind every single person that the vaccines will come. It is going to take months and months before people in the general population are being vaccinated, not once, but twice for those solutions that require 2 vaccinations. And it will take time before the 70% of our population is vaccinated, which kind of leads to the herd immunity that you've probably heard and read about. So we are not requiring vaccinations. That is a personal decision that you choose to make on your own. So, but we will pass along information, communicate information, et cetera, to our staff about kind of where the city and the county is, where the state is. So last thing, as it relates to COVID, I know there are many of you, talking about staff, and maybe in some cases students that get frustrated, get angry, I don't know what word you want to, angry is the best word I can come up with. But I know there's a lot of questions and frustration over really 2 consistent themes that I keep hearing about. First, I want everyone to know that the surveys that we put out several weeks ago to parents, students, and staff asking about the opening of school, the rolling out of Alief Learns, the whole remote versus in person. We ask a bunch of questions, basically asking how do we do, and I will tell you that for the most part, when I say the most part, 75% probably of staff said, considering the circumstances, everything we're okay. Obviously, there's never going to be everyone's not going to be okay. 25% were fairly critical, and I understand that. I do understand that. The reason I bring that up is, one, I want you to know that we're looking at those results. We're paying attention to the survey results and what you guys are telling us, as well as our students and our parents. You'll be maybe interested to know that our parents and our students, for the vast majority, we're very satisfied with how things have gone. I mean, a large percent were satisfied. But there was a segment of our employee population that wasn't as happy. But I just want to let you know, yesterday I had my teacher advisory committee meeting, and I asked our general counsel attorney to address 2 things. One is called Hipaa, HIPPA, and that's an acronym that basically is the acronym for the protection that and the privatization of a person's medical condition or medical records. And so a lot of employees are upset when there's an employee that tests positive on their campus or in their department or in their area, and not every employee is notified. Only those who, through contact tracing, do we notify to let them know that they had come into close contact with a positive confirmed case? So I had Mr. Nichols, our attorney, talk to our teacher advisory committee yesterday about what legal bounds that we are to make those, have to make those decisions. I also asked him to talk about the accommodations, because I know that many of you, a lot of people, a lot of you watching this and listening to this, applied for accommodations based on either your health conditions or a family member's health conditions, and you were denied. And a lot of angst, a lot of anger. I mean, there's probably stronger words than angst and anger, but we understand. But we asked Mr. Nichols to share with the teacher advisory group kind of why that is, what are the laws surrounding that, and what are the required behaviors and decision points that we're, not just ALIF as a public school organization, but any organization in the private sector or the private public side. So I know the accommodation denials and the Hipaa and the fear that are concerned that we're hiding things from people, or that we're not fully being transparent with our information. Nothing could be further from the truth. We're doing everything we can do to share everything that we know within the bounds of the law. So just want to address that. I know it's not going to satisfy anybody that's concerned about either one of those two issues, but we are bound and we have to comply with laws surrounding these two very critical issues. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't understand, or and I get it, even if I understood, I'd still be frustrated because of the severity and the seriousness of this situation. But I just, people ask, well, why'd you do this? Well, I was trying to answer that question for our teacher advisory group of about 105 people were there. I was trying to answer the question, why do you do what you do? Or why did you do this? And I asked Mr. Nichols from his legal perspective to help with that explanation. All right. With that, I'm going to wish everyone a happy holidays. We do have school next week, Monday through Friday, both virtually and in person. So do not take off early. Students, as I mentioned, attendance is being counted. Grades are being counted. We are not going to be giving people passing grades just because they're not nice kids. You've got to do your work. You got to show that you're mastering the content, or enough of the content for your teacher to believe that you're worthy of moving on and being passed. So take care of yourselves, come to school, but I won't, most likely I probably won't have a message next week. If I do, then you'll see it. But if I don't, happy holidays to everyone. Please stay safe. Continue wearing a mask, continue washing your hands, continue socially distancing, even when you get the vaccine. I was told today by the medical community, please tell your community, even though they may get the vaccine, they must wear the mask and continue wearing the mask to protect themselves and everyone else. So it will end sometime. I promise. It will end sometime. We will continue moving forward. We will learn from what we have been doing the last 9 months and make our education system, make our society, make our lives easier and better. But we will persevere, and we will get through this in a shining way. I have no doubt. With that, thank you. God bless every one of you. Happy holidays, and we'll see you soon.